Hi, Brian from Airflow Music here once again. Welcome back. This is day 15 of the 30 days of long tones. That means that after today's set we're actually going to be halfway through this thing. So it's been an interesting experiment for me so far, and I've got to say I'm really enjoying it. Not only playing the things and feeling the benefits I'm getting in my embouchure and my overall playing for that, but also, being here and communicating with all of you every day. That's been a really great part of it that I hadn't completely anticipated, so that's awesome. What questions have we had today? There were some fun ones. Oh, this is one. I forget the name, I'm sorry. Somebody wrote in and said, how about doing circular breathing once in a while? Which I thought was kind of funny. First up, I've never taken the time to learn how to circular breathe. If you have, then more power to you. It's one of those things. Evidently, since there's so many, great players who can't do it, it's not necessary to be able to circular breathe to play the trumpet well. And that's partly why I've not devoted the time to figuring it out and getting the knack for it. But also, in terms of long tones, I can see the logic of saying, well, you're trying to play a long tone, so let's circular breathe to make it easier. But I'm sure you're discovering the same as I am, particularly if you've been doing these for the last 15 days, that it's not really about playing long notes. That's the exercise that we're using to develop some other stuff. But it's not really about playing long notes. As someone said in the comments early on, when would you ever need to play a 30-second long note? And, there's times that you might, but for the most part that's correct. You're probably not going to need to do that. But the other stuff that you learn by practicing it every day will help you play everything else that you need to play. The fundamentals that we're working on here are wide-ranging, and just a few of them include getting a good breath, engaging your breath support properly, working on your slotting, working on your pitch recognition, working on your consistency approach and setting up for things. We're trying to do something in a very timed way, so that's a part of it, and developing consistency in all kinds of playing. And in terms of playing the notes themselves, what we're dealing with is trying to strike a balance between all kinds of various fundamentals and find the place where they all intersect and balance together. And that's the point at which we get to play these in the easiest way possible. And part of the reason that happens and part of the reason that works is because we're playing long notes without moving. We're playing one note for a long time. It lets us feel out where all those things balance, and the lack of moving parts lets us lock something in. Now, if we get into circular breathing, we could potentially play longer for sure, but we're adding a lot of moving parts. The pressure balance is going to be different when you're, maintaining air pressure from down here, but also squeezing air from your face to keep the note happening, all kinds of different things like that. So it's not that it's not a worthwhile thing to learn how to do circular breathing, even though I haven't done so yet. But it's one of those things. It comes down to being very much a kind of cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake sort of technique to learn. In many ways, superficially it's a neat trick, but obviously it has uses if you're trying to play very long phrases and things like that. But it's clearly not necessary to be able to do it, to play at a high level. And, the things that are necessary to play at a high level are the fundamentals that we're talking about. So I'm not sure it's a good idea to, if you've just got the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake, but you've got no cake, you're in trouble. That's a weird way of saying that, I think. But anyway, I think you get the idea. Anyway, so that was my response to that. Let's get into the set for today. This is day 15. I am continuing with 30-second long tones, 15-second breaks. I'm playing open horn today because I'm recording this in the morning and I can. Trying to keep generally on the soft side. The last couple of days I've generally been bringing these a little softer because I'm now better able to relax into doing so. So it creates a little scratchiness in the sound at certain pitches, but that's also something that I'm, learning to overcome by doing it. Okay, so let's get into the set. I'll see you at the other side.
Okay, there it is. Pretty good set on the whole for today. I'm still shorting myself a little on a couple of those last low notes. I think it was the A flat and the F. Excuse me. I think it was the A flat and the F sharp at the end. The low ones that I was just struggling with a little bit. But also, in both those cases, I found myself worrying about the air about 12 to 15 seconds into the tone. And I think that has something to do with my, other times I wasn't. I was just counting and everything was fine. And I don't think I'd necessarily got a bad breath. So maybe a psychological thing there. I'm not sure. It's something I'm going to keep an eye on and see if I can really crack it. Because at times I can really sail through those things. So clearly something is out of balance. Anyway, how was your day 15? With that done, we're halfway through this thing. Well done if you've hung in so far and hung in with me. As I've said a few times now, I'm rather enjoying doing this. Feels good to have played these tones again today. So I hope you're having the same experience. I will see you again tomorrow for day 16. Keep your questions coming in the comments and things like that, so I have something to talk about rather than us just playing some tones, which is not a bad thing in itself, but for a lot of you who aren't joining in, I know that doesn't make for the most entertaining or informative video. So anyway, I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 16. In the meantime, you know what to do. Go practice.